is what you got for me.
Durag Diaries, yo, what's good, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Tottenham Transfer News Show. Today, we've had a few bombers on the way. David Ornstein, Ben Jacobs, everyone in and around the transfer world is dropping news, and a lot of that news has been surrounding Tottenham, the club where everything's been moving so slow the past 4 weeks since we've lifted that Europa League. It's now time for us to start heating up. Transfer window opens tomorrow for Tottenham. And for those that don't know, what we mean by that is the financial year restarts on July the 1st. So teams like Tottenham, Newcastle, Villa, some of the other teams that have just been waiting for that new financial year to kick in can now start making moves in this transfer window. But big up to everyone that's came over from Saeed's show. If you haven't already, make sure you smash the like button on your way into the channel. Make sure you subscribe. As you can see, we're on the road to 5K. We're on the road to 5K, so all support is appreciated. Let's make sure you're subscribed if you're in the building. Let's help me get up to that 3K, which we're only about 370, 380 away from. So your support is appreciated and needed to help me get there. Let's go with some of the people in the chat. Big up to Yusuf, big up to Noah, big up to Raf, MIA, Mello, Godfrey, Mustafa, every single time. Afternoon DRD and the community. You cooked Don, my bro. Hey, I feel like I cooked Don on every show, but hey, that's just me. That's just me. Don definitely puts himself in some mad twist, bruv. Man was all talking about, yeah, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing that. We're 5 points behind Arsenal, but didn't want to say he's finishing above them. I don't know. It sounded a bit fishy. Big up to Godfrey. Do what he says there. Same as Destiny as well. Big up to the people that are inside. Yeah, man. But look, people. Tottenham are making moves in this transfer market. Finally, Spurs are doing some business, and it looks well and truly like man like Mohammed Kudus could be on his way to Tottenham Hotspur. We spoke briefly about it in Midday Live, but we can go in a bit more detail now around this. Because obviously, this is a Tottenham transfer news show, not the all-team transfer news show. So we can actually start to talk a bit more about what is going on in Tottenham. But what we have seen more importantly, is this stuff. Let's go down ever so slightly. I've had so many notifications this morning. This is where we need to go. We'll go over there. We will see this news. Fabrizio come out. Fabrizio Romano has tweeted, Tottenham have genuine interest in Mohammed Kudus. Genuine interest. He's high on the list for this summer, as Matt Law reports. Initial contacts took place with his new agents, while there are more clubs also involved. Kudus open to Spurs talks. So as you can see there, people, Fabrizio Romano has now confirmed Mohammed Kudus is high on Tottenham's list. I think it's fair to say him and Semenyo are Tottenham's top targets for this window. He could be on his way to Tottenham, but off the back of that, we didn't just see that Spurs were interested. Supposedly now, this one is up to you whether you want to believe, because some people like to believe Paul O'Keefe, some people don't like to believe Paul O'Keefe. You haven't missed anything as of yet, Bango. But for the people that don't know, if you want to be like Bango and have that little badge next to your name, you can become a member of the channel. in the pinned comment. Make sure you show some love, become a member, show your support, and become a delinquent, become a descendant. Really get some exclusive access to some of our videos through the pinned comment. But as you can see here, apparently Tottenham had a £50 million bid rejected for Kudus a week ago. Now, do you know what? It's good to know that Spurs are out here making bids. Far too often, Tottenham are, negotiating, inquiring, shortlisting, targeting. We're doing everything but bidding for players. So if Spurs have apparently made a bid, it means we really want the guy. £50 million for Kudus has been rejected thus far, which is fine. I think it's one of those bids that you would expect for them to reject, being an opening offer, but also being an offer that is £35 million below his release clause. West Ham have come out and said that they're willing to negotiate this release clause and willing to work down a price tag. But at the same time, they're not going to accept a stupid offer that's almost half what his release clause is. I could see this deal getting done for around £60 million, whether that's the guaranteed fee plus some add-ons or including the add-ons. I just see the fee being in and around £60 million, being a sweet spot for Spurs at this moment in time, signing Richarlison and Solanke both for that price. Like Jay says there, 60 should get him. But what Mohammed Kudus brings to Tottenham is so much from what we haven't got at the moment. So much. Spurs haven't got a Maverick. I was speaking about in the last show how Eze would be a good signing for Tottenham and Arsenal. But they went on to say, Dan Potts was all talking about Eze guaranteed to start for Tottenham, whether that's off the left, in the middle, off the right, he's guaranteed. I don't think Eze is guaranteed week in, week out start for Tottenham. I think where Eze brings another option to Tottenham, he's a Maverick that Tottenham need, could start off the left, but is best in the 10. I don't necessarily think Eze is the player that is going to come in, start every game, and take the team so far further from where we are at right now. His attacking quality does improve our attack. There's no doubt about that. But Kudus is got the X factor. You look at some of the goals he scored, the overhead kick, the one where he dribbled through all the team. He's got the ability to create something from nothing. D. Abanuli, I'm sorry for shouting. Maybe you should turn down the volume on whatever device you're watching on. You must be new here, as Jay says. But I always shout. I'm always excited. I've always got energy, especially when it comes to talking Tottenham. But I'll turn my mic down ever so slightly because I do think it is extra high from... Yeah, I can't lie. My height's definitely a little bit... When you're on Trench Talks, people, you have to shout to get your point across, especially when you're in the quiz. So shout out to Fams on TV. Make sure you show some love over there on a Friday night. But that's why the mic is so high. So that's probably why it might be slightly higher than usual, although I am shouting, but it's slightly higher than usual. So let me know if that's a bit more better for you. Yeah? It's a little bit lower. But back to it. Mohammed Kudus, when you look at what he offers, what he does in and around the box for West Ham last season, didn't have his best year. He did not have his best year last year. Nobody can sit there and say that. I think he was a bit slower. I feel like for West Ham last year, we saw he had a few. Well, it was against Tottenham where he actually got banned. He got a red card, trying to mash up some of our players, which I'm happy to forgive him for. We know Richarlison had his little kick up with Romero before he joined Tottenham. It's fine. I need players like this with a little bit of tenacity, a little bit of a cunt in them. Like, we need this in our players. So Mohammed Kudus is going to bring that. That's fine. But last season, in that system that Lopetegui set them out to have in the first 4 months, he was drowning. He was just drowning. Like you saw Somerville drown, because we were told that that attack at West Ham was going to blow off last season. Having Crescencio, Somerville, Mohammed Kudus, Fulkrug, Bowen, Antony. They had a plethora of options, Paqueta, but nothing could work. Simply because the attacking system and structure wasn't there. Now, when you actually look into the numbers, you can see why. You can see quite a heavy difference between Kudus and of 23 to 24 to Kudus 24 to 25. So this is him from last season looking at his FB ref report, which is not good. His total shots is down at 2.61, 72nd percentile. His passing completion was where he stood out the most, which is it's nothing amazing, but what's expected of a player in his forward positions. Successful take-ons, again, he always excels on the take-on. So having 3.2 was always going to put him in a 97th percentile. Now, this is where he fell off a little bit, and it was all around, I suppose, some of his shot-creating actions, they dropped quite significantly. 54th percentile, 3.72 at 0.35 non-penalty goals and expected assists. But you can see here his numbers have just dropped quite significantly from the year before, and he only really excels in the take-ons and completions. And when you actually break it down in the specifics, you can see here, again, goal and shot creating actions, still pretty decent numbers, even in his worst year. But at the same time, when you talk about him in possession, just not doing what you need of him to do with the carries, the carrying distance. I mean, the successful take-on percentage only at 44.2. He's dropped quite a bit from his performances the year before, where you can look at his performances from the year before and see that there was just a complete step up, you could say. Now, this is in the Premier League of the year before. You can already see non-penalty goals, 0.7 percentile. You can see here the shot creating actions, slightly higher, but still in a similar percentile. His successful take-ons is way higher at 4.49. Progressive carries, 4.24. He's just doing a little bit better. And also, because they didn't have all competitions in that one, you just have to break it up for Europa League and Premier League. And you can see in the Europa League again, obviously this is compared to all the other Europa League performers, but you can see the performances that he was putting out. 3.18 progressive carry per games, 3.88 touches in the attacking penalty area. So again, Kudus has some good stats and some good qualities. And you can see where he has fell off from the season prior. He was a lot better in the 23 to 24 season. There's no doubt about that. But the one thing we can't do is we can't judge him for his one season performance and be like, he's not that good. You just need to watch Kudus to see the type of player he is. An absolute maverick and a creator. But let's see what the people in the chat think. What do you guys think of this Kudus news? Should he be Tottenham's #1 target? What price range would you be happy to sign him for? Let us know in the chat. If you're watching the playback, let us know in the comment section. Playing all games just between those points. West Ham will make this difficult because it's us. You know, the thing is with this Destiny, yeah, is I've seen that Spurs are actually looking to, you know, stop their transfer embargo with this. Now, we obviously know we actually have a decent record with signing from West Ham. Whenever we go to West Ham, we tend to pick up some of their best players. We do. In the past, it's been Jermaine Defoe. He went on to become a Spurs legend. Freddie Canute, who was a top striker at the time. Even players like Carrick. We've even signed Scott Parker, came in and had a player of the season year instantly at Tottenham. So whenever we do sign West Ham players, they tend to be the right ones. So I'm confident that Kudus could be the right one. Fam Zone TVD is here. Man says, you definitely won't be getting Kudus. He will cost £80 million plus. Now, I don't know if you've actually seen the reports, D. Maybe you've missed them. But his release clause is 85 mil. They're willing to negotiate lower than that. So you may have seen the reports early in the season that they want 85 mil, but they're actually willing to do a fee of around 60 to 65 million pounds. What it actually seems like is that you're jealous that you're looking at other players that aren't of that level, and we're looking at Kudus. So saying you defo won't get Kudus and then naming his price, let us know why we defo won't get Kudus. Is that because a bigger club is coming in for him? Or is that because Kudus won't join Tottenham? You let me know, because I need clarification. Not very clear right now. Not very clear. But facts, even Brennan, I swear, fought him with Richarlison before we signed. That's the thing, man. We've had bare players that have had a scrap up with other Spurs players. That's part of life. These players are big men. These players are big men. Kudus has the dog in him like Diaz and Liverpool. Yes, he does. He's got that dog to just drive at players, try to create, try to do something. You know that one that's just, do you know what? If you lot ain't going to do nothing today, I will. Fuck it. Just keep giving me the ball on the left wing. He's got that ability by him. Just keep giving the ball to me and I'm going to make it work. That's what he is. He's an absolute dog on that left-hand side. Kudus and Frank moves me heavily, man. He can get serious GA under Frank, and I know it. And I believe you as well. I agree. I think the GA side of things, Frank will help him improve his game. We saw what he's been able to do with Brian Mbomo over the last couple of years. Get a player whose final third end product is good. We just need him to be put in the right areas, picking up the ball in the right areas, floating in those half spaces. I can really see Frank getting the best out of Kudus here. And I'll be honest, if I'm looking at Kudus and Semenyo, Kudus is the more polished version. I'm 100% going in for Kudus first. Not should be a target. He must be a target. Bango, no doubt about that. When Spurs put their first bid, another smoke without fire. Apparently, the first bid was put in last week. That's what Paul O'Keefe said. I believe that would have been a verbal bid. But again, we haven't seen no credible reports to come out from that. But Paul O'Keefe is quite credible when it comes to Spurs. So I'm not going to lie. When you're looking at whether that has happened or not, I would believe that has been the case so far. I need that. I can't lie. I need it to. I need it to. Big up to my guy Ghosted. Big up to the members that are in the building. I can't let it be known enough. Become a member. Become a delinquent. It's just in the pinned comment. You ain't got to look too far. Yeah? What you mean? Like Rodrigo and Gyökeres, let's have it right. Let's have it right. Rodrigo's not happening. And nor is Gyökeres. It looks like you're getting Sesko and Eze. Yeah? So when you're talking like Rodrigo and Gyökeres is done, maybe it's not. It's definitely not done. It's definitely not done. So do what D said he was going to do a couple weeks ago and not talk on transfers until you see them in an Arsenal shirt. I'm just saying. Let's make sure you see them in an Arsenal shirt before you start talking like you're signing these big players. Let's have it right. But jealous. It seems like it. It seems like it. Now he's all trying to tell me to put my do-rag on. Yeah. Maybe it's another thing he's jealous about. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Arsenal will hijack our deals. Whatever we said we want to sign, they will sign it. Now, look, Anthony, I have said in the past that Arsenal are a more attractive proposition than Tottenham in this window currently. I've said that in numerous of videos, and I'll stand 10 toes on that. That probably is the case. But Arsenal aren't in for Kudus, and that's where we're at right now in this window. Arsenal are looking at Eze and looking at other players. So whether they want to hijack our deals and whether they will hijack our deals are two very different things. You may want to, but you may not go ahead with it. So let's have it right. At this moment in time, they haven't hijacked anything. Spurs stepped away from Eze, which I'm happy about, to allow them to get Eze so we can go and focus on better players. And at this moment in time, Spurs are looking at better players in my mind. But he's a baller, would start every week for you. Yeah, no doubt. Kudus would, man. Kudus coming to the mighty Chelsea. Now, this is a team that I am wary where he could go. If he is to not go to Tottenham, they could take him away from us. I did say in Midday Live, and many of you would have seen it, that I don't think he would choose Chelsea over Tottenham at this moment in time. I'm looking at the current situation, the current market. They've just signed two wingers, both of those wingers deployed off his favoured left-hand side. I'm looking, I'm like, is this a deal that works out? No, it's not. Kudus could come in off the left, could come in off the right, cool. But he's a winger. He's got a winger who's going to look at that Chelsea team and be like, there's 6 wingers there, 7 or 8 wingers already. He might think he's the best of them, but let's just say you have a bad game or two, you get shifted straight to the bench, don't even get to start building up your way, build up your sharpness. You come back from injury, you've got to fight for yourself to get back into the team. Now, I'm not saying that life is easy at Spurs. It's definitely not. It's a little bit easier when it comes to that rotation and you know that you're guaranteed a spot in the team. I'm not saying we should be guaranteeing players spots in teams either, but I just think there's too much competition for roles at Chelsea. Chelsea have a lot of players in his current favoured position. Also, they've already signing players that are coming in Esteval, who's not arrived at Chelsea yet, and Kuenda, who's not arrived at Chelsea yet. So they've got players that are going to be playing his position in the next year or so too as well, coming in on top of any other signings they might make at that time. So I'd be looking at it, and I'm saying look, I'm not Kudus, so I can only give you my point of view. But if I was Kudus, I'm like, this is not a team where I can see myself playing a lot of football. So is this a good deal to go make happen? I don't think so. I don't think so. So he could go to the mighty Chelsea, but I don't think he will go to the mighty Chelsea. Big up to David F.A. Jords, you won't get him over us if we go seriously in for him. And that's the thing. Who are you seriously going in for? Because I don't know at this moment in time. It's a scattergun approach. It's literally a scattergun approach right now. Kudus would never go Arsenal. That's what some people think. He can play the left. I suppose for West Ham, he played off the left, but he preferred to play off the right. But I think it depends on the system. That's the thing, is I could see him playing off the right as well. For Tottenham, put him on the right-hand side. I can't even lie. Just shift him on that right-hand side, get rid of Brennan, have Matisse, Tell, and Odegaard off the left. That works. That works. But for Arsenal, you need a left-hand-sided player. So would he go to Arsenal if you guys are going to be playing him on that left-hand side? If he's preferred on the right-hand side? Like, there's all these different things that are coming into play. Heung-min Son to Milan, come on, let's get it. How much? Farhan, I think you'd have to fork out a good 40 million pounds, 40 million euros for that deal to happen, which I'd be happy to see him go. I said it last week. I can see Son going to one of the biggest teams in one of the other leagues, whether that being AC Milan, Inter Milan, Juventus, Barcelona. I can see him going to one of these types of clubs and still playing at the highest level, just not in the Premier League. So if that deal does present an opportunity, I'm not gonna lie, I'd be more than happy for him to go. More than happy for him to go. But I did look into some of the data a little bit more, people. Just a little bit more, so we could see the differences between the players that we have been targeting and some of the players that have been mentioned today. You guys know I love a little data MB data graphic where we can look at the players. But before we even say who the players are, let me know which players you think we are looking at in this graph. Which player is which? I'm gonna say the names. We've got Eze, we've got Kudus, and you got Semenyo. Let's do a bit of a guessing game. Match the colors. There's 2 years of Kudus in here. I will just throw that out here. There's 2 Kudus years in here because I just want to show the difference between his 23 to 24 season as opposed to his 24 to 25 season. But let me know who you guys think is who, which is which. But big up to Mr. Udang. You know what it is. Business amigo. We have no Europe, so we need him. I hear it. No Europe is going to be a tough way to try and bring him in, but at the same time, Sonny needs to go in it. Sonny does need to go. Sanjesh, big up to you, my bro. Why can't Spurs go for Kubo as a right wing option if they're exploring for Kudus in that position alone? Asian players always succeed at Spurs. Instead, they can sign David free to rotate with Solanke. There's a few points made there, Sanjay. So first of all, why are Spurs not looking at Kubo? I think Kubo is a player that a lot of teams have looked at, but when looking into him a bit more, there's a very patchy player that maybe doesn't offer what some other players do in his positions, and that's consistency and quality at the highest level. Now, he's a good player. I don't think it's fair to say all Asian players succeed at Spurs, because I remember having Asian players back in the day, like Yang Lee Hyuk, I think it was, a left back, a full back that wasn't that good. But we've had a few Asian players over the years that haven't necessarily always worked out. So I don't think it's fair to say that they always succeed at Spurs. But at the same time, it could do. He's a decent player. I think Kudus is the better option. And as you can see right now, a lot of the Premier League market is people are looking to sign Premier League proven players. Go out there, get players that have already played in the Premier League where you know their quality is already at a level, you know what they're going to perform next season. So that's what you can see of a lot of Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City. A lot of teams are going for Prem proven players. That's why Liverpool went and got Kirkes. That's why Chelsea went and got Pedro, trying to get these players in the Premier League where they know what they can add to their team already. You got Eze yellow, Kudus blue, green is Eze, Kudus blue, Semenyo yellow. Can't lie. My like Bango is spot on. Bango is spot on. As you can see there, as we can see here, I should say, sorry. So I put 2 seasons of Kudus because you can see how very similar his seasons were, but also, again, the difference in quality. Eze is the green, Semenyo is the yellow. So when you look at this graph, you can already see. Let me just take away one of these seasons just to make it a little bit easier to read. Let's take away this season, the older one. So you can already see here why Spurs are targeting these players. They're all very similar in the way that they play. But when you look at Kudus, he's that step ahead of the rest of them when it comes to attacking actions, progressives, dribbles. Now, Semenyo is obviously very similar when it comes to the carries and taking it into those open spaces. So when you actually look at the specific numbers, you can see there 73.2, 81.6. They're both very similar in being that they do pick up the ball in those wider areas. And most of their play is done on the wings. So they're expected to have more on the carries and dribble side of things. Now, Eze, this is where he's a little bit better than the other players. Key passes and assists. But away from that, where the key passes, they both fall a little bit short from, with Kudus being 55.5 as opposed to 68.4. But Semenyo also quite significantly lower. The XG and XA is still pretty damn good. And the non-penalty goals is still at a decent number. But you can see here all very similar players. So when you're looking at why Spurs are looking at them, you can definitely see here. 250 people are in here. I haven't looked at the likes, but we got 41 right now. We usually aim for 50 on a stream, but today we're going for 75 because we want to go a little bit higher. A little bit higher. We've been doing 50 for quite a while now. So let's get 75 likes on this stream. Smash the like button, people. Let's make sure we get to 75. So like it if you haven't already, people. But you said put Yildiz. Let me see if I can. Let me add Yildiz in here. Keenan Yildiz. Yes. Here we go. Okay. This makes it interesting. Udang, because I've obviously seen quite a bit of Kenan Yildiz, and I really, really like him. Seeing this, though, against the stats, again, very similar player to that of Kudus and Semenyo, more like the Kudus type, but again, he's really clean with some of the passes he does. For me, it's the way that he drives that ball. His technical ability is so damn good. You said remove Eze. Go on. Let's remove Eze. So when you look at them, you can literally see all very similar. You got Kudus, who again just pushes a bit higher on the attacking actions and carries, but Kenan Yildiz is a very similar player, and that's another one. Another player I really like in that position, I'm not gonna lie, is Sula. I really like Mateus Sula in that position. He's so good. All of that. This is where we need Don Paratici back. This is why we need the Don Paratici back, because the Don would have got Sula or Yildiz to Tottenham from Juve. That would have been a deal that would have been done. That would have been a deal that would have got wrapped up, no doubt. You look at these players, key passes, attacking actions. Juventus, and I will say, Yildiz and Sula probably wouldn't perform at the same level they're doing in Serie A in the Premier League, so the numbers wouldn't be higher than Kudus or Semenyo. But you can see here the underlying metrics are showing, man. They want to see. Should we do it? Ghosted, we'll do it. This is going to be so bad. It's going to be. You're going to see Johnson on penalty goals, expected goals, way higher than everyone else. Maybe attacking actions up there with the rest, but everything else is going to be so much shorter, man. It's going to be. Oh my god, it's so embarrassing. It's actually so embarrassing to see how limited Brennan Johnson is at time. His carries is so low. His attacking, look, even attacking actions are a lot lower than I thought. 37.5, 37 points. He's in the lowest percentile, but when it comes to non-penalty goals, he's so far ahead of everyone because he scores quite a bit. It's actually mad. Do you know what? Let's actually compare these some of the wingers we got currently in it. Let me take out Sula. Take out Yildiz. There was a player, someone come in my chat, and now I done research. Yeah, I can't lie. I done my research on Igor Paixão. It might have been you, Mr. Udang, that told me to look at him. It may have been you. Send him back to Nottingham Desert. But I was doing my research into Igor Paixão, and this player might be my new favorite outside of the Premier League for Tottenham. Igor Paixão is different gravy. This guy is really boo cha cha boo cha boo cha 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 boo cha cha cha. Like when you need a Brazilian with that flair, with that Brazilian, yo, Igor Paixão is that guy. He reminds me of, I can't lie, he reminds me, and I might be stretching it just a little. But he reminds me of Defoe when he's finishing that ball, when he cuts in and he's inside that box. I was doing some research the other day, all weekend to be fair. I started watching him and I was like, nah, I need to keep watching this guy. He's so cold, yeah. Farming the Eredivisie, jogging Benito. Nah, but I'll look into Antonio Nusa soon, guys. I'll look into him soon because I know that's a player that Frank's a big fan of, but also Tottenham are. But I need to talk about Igor Paixão. I need to talk about Igor Paixão, yeah, because he's available. Yeah, look, Mr. Udang said he's available for around 35 million. I've seen clubs like Leeds and some of these other clubs interested. And I'm like, no. Spurs should have spent the tail money on this guy for around 35, 40 million. He is the one. His finishing style is like that of Jermaine Defoe's. He's small. He's got he can jump in the air, compete. He can score headers. Very good with the finishes when it comes to putting it in the bottom corners. I like to call them deadly finishers because he puts that pace and power on the ball, but always finds the corner. He's got a long shot trait. About him as well. And as you can see here, so with the dribbling, I don't necessarily think he's as gifted as a dribbler as a player like Kudus or someone. But he takes his player on. He's still very quick with his feet. He's decisive in the final third. In that penalty box area, whenever I see him running in, cutting in, he's either going to shoot or he's going to pass. He makes the decision very, very quick. And we've just seen players like Malik Tillman be confirmed to Bayer Leverkusen for 40 million euros. You can get this deal done for a very reasonable fee. Igor, I don't know. I think it might have been Mr. Udang, but whoever put me on Igor Paixão introduced me to a baller. Because I don't even know how I missed him last year. I remember watching Feyenoord against Man City and Santiago Jimenez was banging a few goals. But I don't know how I missed this player. He is so damn good. And when you look at the stats here, you can see why. 85th percentile for progressive carries. Against dribbles, 77.5. Non-penalty goals. Expected goals and expected assists. High numbers. Key pass, 76.8. He's just got that flair and ability. This is a player. Spurs. Yeah, it was Udang. I knew it was Udang, man, because I know you've given me a few players to watch. This might have been the first one I've actually took in properly. Pause. Angelo Stiller as well. One that I've known about, but him, I actually, bro, Udang, you know your stuff, man. You know, like this guy, I was sold. I was watching it, and the more I'm watching, because I was watching two shows. I'm watching BMF, but at the same time, I'm watching the new season of BMF with the man them. I'm doing my research on my phone because I'm just like, I need to take this in. Bro, this guy is so damn good, bro. I was being sold. I was like, fuck BMF, bro. I need to focus on scouting report for this player because he's just that good. I'll have to take back everything I said about Ghanaian Jollof, the Ghanaian Alan St. Maximan, all dribble, zero end product. Yeah, not a fan, but oh well. Elijah's best. You know what it is? I've deeped. Elijah is allergic to Jogo Bonito. Elijah wants robots. Elijah wants us to have a bunch of robots. Like he doesn't want us to have Joga Bonito, Pool Chat Chat players, because if you did, you'd want someone like Kudus in as another part of our team. You definitely want them. Big up the chat, smash the likes, peeps. You'll never walk alone. Big up to my man Dean. Make sure you guys are showing some love and showing your support, as he says there. But more importantly, make sure you're supporting their channel, Fams on TV. We have plenty of stuff that come out together. So yeah, man, you need to make sure that you're showing your support over them sides. But I did see there was a player you guys wanted me to add in. Elijah wants system players. He wants system players, bro. Yeah, E for exposed. Facts. It's E for exposed. Because he doesn't like Kudus. Didn't like Bergval. There's been a couple of other ballers that we spoke about. He said he's not really liking. And it's just like, bro, clearly you've been liking systems. You've been liking systems. Nothing to do with Flair. Mike's been saying Kudus is mid, and I trust his opinion. Mike's also said that he wanted Lopetegui out at the start of the season because he was bringing the players down. Because Mike's was actually one of the first guests I had on my channel. And I remember him saying this very clearly. So if Mike's was saying that the manager was bad, then I think there might be something to add up that the manager was really bad, making the players be even worse. So Kudus was mid because of his manager. Big up to everyone that's come over from Views on Sport. Big up to my bro. Make sure you're smashing a like button on your way in. Views with the raid with all the viewers. Yeah, man. Big up to everyone that's come over from the Views raid. Make sure you smash a like on your way in. Show your support to Views as well, man. I see you, yeah. The viewers are in the building. The viewers are in the building. Make sure you guys show some support to Views on Sport as well. Now, let's mod him up to make sure no one can say no more. You know, them ones there. FBI, this is a raid. Don't kill me. Come on. No to Kudus. That end product is diabolical. No, I actually want to just to kill this narrative that his end product is diabolical, because if you actually look deeper into some of his end product is good. It's good. Last season he had a very, very bad season, and it just wasn't. It wasn't one of those years. But that's what we wanted to look at adding in here. But he will be back better next year under a new manager. Antonio Nusa. That's who a lot of people have asked me to put in there. So with Antonio Nusa, yeah, I just want to make it clear. As you can see here, he's quite significantly not as good as the other ones. He's only 20 years of age. So it would be a lot better to compare him to the likes of Sula, to Yildiz, and some of those players who are more in and around his age range. But you said here, look, he underperformed his XG by 2 goals. It's not that bad. And that's last season. Go check the season before. But as you can see here, Nusa is a great dribbler. Great with the carries. Good with the attacking actions. But he just needs to do that much better in front of goal. He needs to do a bit more when it comes to scoring, when it comes to creating, when it comes to getting assists. Because I believe before this deal was almost wrapped up in the season before, or not last season, the season before he went to Leipzig, he was going to go from Club Brugge to Brentford. He had a decent year at Club Brugge, but again, only got like 3 goals, 3 assists. Next year at RB Leipzig, he only got 3 goals, 3 assists again. So I'm looking at this player and I'm like, he's good. He's a good dribbler. He does some stuff, but he's not a guy that's going to give you the numbers and GA that you need in the final third, what you need from a starting player. So Antonio Nusa would be a good option for Spurs to have, like a Matisse Tell, like a Odebert. But he's not the player to sign to take our attack to the next level like one of these 3 players will be. These are my 3 top targets right now for Tottenham. I'm not going to lie. My 3 top targets for those wing positions. Kudus, Semenyo, Paixão. Bring me Paixão today. Right now. Paixão right now. How about that? That's the new hashtag. Paixão right now. Let's make that happen. Can't say this enough as well. Listen to Everest, man. Not even 70 likes. Come on, chat. Do your thing. But this guy has the most successful dribbles out of anyone in the Premier last year, and he's playing for West Ham. Bro, that goes to show you how good of a player he can be when performing at his best. Now, he's back West Ham. No structure, no system going forward, no striker to put the ball in the back of the net because, yes, they did have Bowen. He's not a striker, but he's a striker. Fulkrug's not good enough. I just think under Frank with Solanke in front of him, Kudus becomes an absolute GA merchant. Becomes a GA merchant. Jords, I'm going to be two. I'm going to be real clear. I like Kudus, but Jarrod Bowen is clear and would be a better buy. Jarrod Bowen's not available. West Ham will not sell him. He's with literally the king of West Ham's daughter in Danny Dyer. He's going bloody nowhere, mate. Yeah? He's East End for life. He's not leaving West Ham anytime soon. And if he does leave West Ham, I can imagine it only going to a club like Liverpool, a team that's going to compete for the Premier League. John, I see what you're trying to do. You can't catch me out because I have all the post notifications on for the biggest aggregators. So you can't get me with these silly stuff. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, you know. Paixão's decent, I can't lie. I played one of the Paixão's good, man. Paixão's better than Noosa, no doubt. Man said, bring me Noosa. Bring me the Noose instead. We don't joke about men's mental health in here, yeah? We don't do that. Save that one for SSN. Don't kill me. Jords, I really can't with Kudus winger. With 12 goals across 2 full seasons. How many goals did he score last season? The season before last season. That's the important thing. Last season really is one of those years that I would take that you just have to rub off for Kudus. I know he only got like 5 goals last year. He got 8 the year before, but the year before he actually got like 14 or 15 in all competitions because he scored quite a few goals in the Europa League for them when they made their way to, say, semi-finals, because they definitely won the finals. For me, Kudus is a better technical footballer than Bowen, and I like Bowen. Yeah, man, I think Kudus is more of a technical footballer, but Bowen's proper. He's an Englishman that's made for the English Premier League, man. He'll always score goals in this league. We have Frank. We can coach Calvert-Lewin, guys. Dom's up front. That just sounds mad. That sounds mad. Trust me, Destiny. That's exactly what I said. Danny Dyer is kicking it all off, bro. He's kicking it off. There's no way he's going meant anywhere. Guys are really saying Johnson over Kudus. I can't lie. I've heard it all. Yeah, if guys are saying Johnson over Kudus, I agree too. I've definitely heard it all. But there is another player Spurs have been monitoring. Spurs have been considering. But I've got a feeling that this is just news and inquiring news because I saw this stuff last season and I can't lie, it piqued my interest. Piqued my interest in January as well because it's a player that I'm a big fan of. But Jacob Ramsey is a player Tottenham are also considering. Jacob Ramsey is a really good player. Aston Villa look like they're going to be safe from PSR, so they may not need to sell. So it looks like this probably be a deal that doesn't happen. But Jacob Ramsey is a good player, man. And now I'm not really too sure how Spurs will deploy Jacob Ramsey because he's been used in a few different positions for Aston Villa. Last season had one of his better years for them, playing a bit more frequently. But he's coming of age now. He's actually coming of age now where he's at like 24 years of age. So he's got an expectation to perform. I'm not necessarily too sure where we bring in Jacob Ramsey and we decide what we want to do with him because yes, the majority of the times last year he played off the left wing and he's more of a left winger. But I look at him and I'm like, he's more of an inside forward, left forward type player. Doesn't really get at his man enough like Kudus does. I feel like we need a 1v1 take-on specialist. Someone that can pop up within a goal, get an assist here and there. He does like to shoot and he does like to create. But I'm not really too sure about this Rams stuff because I like the player. I'm not really too sure if I'll be happy with the deal. got a feeling Aston Villa are going to command a big fee for him, maybe try to charge something upwards of 40 to 45 million pounds, and that's just not worth. It's just not worth the price. So I'm like, Jacob Ramsey might not be the one for that price range. Deluded FC, who's deluded, Zam? But if anyone says Johnson over Kudus, then the ball knowledge needs to be questioned, no doubt. Go watch lacrosse. Go watch lacrosse. If we get a Gume, I'll be the happiest man on earth. Very, very good deal for only 15 million pounds, I'm hearing. Yeah, that could be a very good day. And number 8, he could play in the 8. He definitely could play in the 8. I like Ramsey, but we can do better than him, in my opinion. I'd prefer someone like Elliott ahead of him. Now, see, look, when we're talking about players like this here, Elliott, Ramsey, and these type, they're not players that are needle movers for Tottenham. I think they could come to Tottenham and have an impact, but they're definitely not needle movers for us right now. So I don't know where we bring in an Elliott or bring in a Ramsey and start. They're going to come into our team and play the same amount of minutes they'd be playing at their current teams. So I can't see it working. The wrong Villa light skin, Elijah says, yeah, there's one light skin over there that we should be eager to get, and that's Morgan Rogers, man. Definitely Morgan Rogers. But yeah, Ramsey is a good squad player. Babaku Kamara, now this is a very, very good player, and I spoke about him briefly in Midday Live. This is a player that can come in and definitely start for Tottenham. I think he'd be ahead of Bentancur in that number 8 role, but also, all right, can't lie, right now would be ahead of if you put him in the 6, definitely he'd be starting in our midfield. There's no doubt about that. You could play Kamara next to Bergwijn, maybe Kamara behind Bentancur. Kamara is a good player, man. He's a damn good player. Kyle Walker-Peters to Spurs looks like it could be very, very likely. It looks like a deal that is going to be done very, very soon. I think I saw it on this page sometime today, maybe this morning, or maybe even yesterday. But the news has been that Tottenham are seriously considering Dennis Serkin and Kyle Walker-Peters. But not sure if people else have seen. There was some other news reported, and I'm not really too sure how reliable this is, because some of the news is coming out from Argentina, some news has come out from Tottenham. Reports in Tottenham suggest that no fee has been agreed. No fee has been agreed, the reports from Tottenham suggest. But reports from Argentina are suggesting that Atletico Madrid and Tottenham are nearing an agreement for Christian Romero at around 65 million euros, which is around 55 million pounds. So in and around that price range. New talks between Atletico Madrid and Tottenham started this week. Tottenham are open to negotiating, but they won't go much lower than the 70 million asking price. So you can see there, Tottenham are willing to negotiate to allow him to go. This report was released by one of those, Diario Rios reporters who report South American football, who aren't necessarily the most reliable, but they're coming out and saying that Atletico and Tottenham are speaking. This has been a player that I've sort of been expected to leave throughout the majority of this window, so I can't say I'm too mad at it if he does go. But for 55 million pounds, I think we need to get a little bit more. We need a little bit more. I've been saying for a while, 60 million pounds is the absolute lowest price we can accept for Romero. So 70 million euros is a good price. 55 million euros guaranteed is not. That's only a little bit more than what we paid for him in the 4 years ago. We paid 40 million pounds. So we need to make sure we're making a profit on this deal. And 60 million pounds is the fee that I would expect for Spurs to agree a deal around. Big up to my guy AB, who says Durag Diaries. It's just fake news. All rumors. Yeah, Ali Gold come out and said that. But Argentinian media, sometimes they come out with the stuff and give us the bombers beforehand. So let's see. I think it's fake. I did predict we'd get no more than 70 mil. I think 70 mil is what Spurs want for him. So yeah, we definitely won't get no more than that. But I would sell if we reinvest, but can't trust Levy to do that. We're definitely going to reinvest his money. Now, whether his money is going to be reinvested into a centre back is another question. So let's see where that deal does pace itself out. Jords, we got a bomber in our WhatsApp. Check it out. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna lose, but I'm not gonna reveal nothing. Not gonna reveal nothing to the live viewers as of yet. We're not gonna do none of that because we're gonna wait to give you guys that. But if you go on Data MB, compare Zubimendi and Ogume. All right, this will be the last comparison that I quickly do before we head out. I've got to do the school run. I've got to shoot off. But I can't stress it enough, people. Make sure you smash the like button on the video. We're currently at 73 likes, just 2 away from the like goal. So let's get this up to 75 real quick. Yeah, maybe even 100 if you're feeling extra nice. And then we're going to do this final comparison. And also, as I have said before, but you may have forgot, memberships are available. Become a member, become a delinquent, become a descendant. Go hit that link in the pinned comment to see all the latest stuff and get some exclusive access to the memberships and videos and all of that stuff. But let's see. Ogume versus Zubimendi. Now, I have actually looked at Zubimendi's stats, so I know how impressive Zubimendi can be. But all right. Now maybe we might be talking. Looking at the stats here, pretty much, I don't even need to go through the numbers. It looks like Ogume had a better season than Zubimendi quite significantly. Now, that's a key part here, is his minutes played is almost 1,000 less than that of Zubimendi. So, as I always say, take the numbers with a pinch of salt because these numbers will be slightly inflated to match the amount of minutes played. Now, I shouldn't say 2,300 minutes is a lot of football. So if you're averaging this across 2,300, you're probably going to average the similar numbers, if not slightly less. Like his progressive passes might go from 77 to 7.5. Like it's all going to be slightly less and probably a lot closer to the level that Zubimendi's at in many of his ones. So that would come down. That would come down. They're very similar players. I can't lie. I think Zubimendi's really, really good signing for Arsenal. So if we can get a player similar to that of Zubimendi for £15 million, I don't understand why Spurs will sit here and not make that deal happen. So can't lie here, Mr. Udang. You might have found a really, really strong player here. A good price range. If he's actually available for the £15 million you've said, then that's mad. That's mad. Branthwaite swap for Richie and spend that Romero money on a top striker. So Branthwaite's actually signed a new deal for Everton. So that's a deal that definitely won't be happening this window anyway. So Branthwaite will not be on the move, but Richarlison may still be on the move to Everton. How come this club is all about ifs, buts, maybes, possibilities, inquiries, investigating? Do you know what, Alan? We're not the only ones. I think Arsenal fans cry about that. And United fans cry about that. Chelsea is probably the only club that when they're interested in a player, they sign those players. So it's one of those ones. Look, it's early in the window. I expect our window to really start heating up over the next couple of weeks where you start to see Spurs put bids in, Spurs put deals together. But one thing we do need to pay attention to is over the last couple windows, we've seen how Johan Langer moves and it's in silence. A lot of the deals he makes, it just gets done. It's no Spurs are in talks. This is going to happen. It's just Spurs bomber. Spurs have put a bid. Spurs have put a bid in. Spurs have agreed a deal done. That's pretty much how it happens to be. Like we saw with Kota Takai, who's been confirmed to make way over to Tottenham on the 5th of July. He will start to make his way. So we will see onwards from there how he's going to be, whether he's going to be a long-term option for us to stay at Spurs across the season, whether he's going to go out on loan. We will see. But tomorrow, the transfer window for Spurs officially opens. So we are going to be doing plenty of shows. Make sure you're subscribed to stay up to date with all the shows that we are going to be doing across the next couple weeks. As you guys should know by now, I don't necessarily have a specific time that we go live, but we do go live every single day. So just keep a lookout on the channel, tap the post notification bell, stay up to date with all the videos coming out. Also, plenty of uploads. So it's not just an upload, not a live every day. We have uploads and videos coming out every single day. So stay subscribed to the channel, stay into tune with everything transfers. this is your place to be. Durag Diaries. Until next time, people, we are going to be heading out. But before we do, I do need to say, we're going to be live again. We're going to be live again on Chez's channel in about 30 minutes. So I'm going to send you guys over to Chez's channel now to wait. And then when we do start the show, you'll be there. So let us know if you want to wait, you can wait. If you don't, you don't. But Chez, where's this show? Yes, we're going to be starting literally in about 20 minutes. Just over 20 minutes. So you can wait over there. If not, join back. But make sure you people subscribe, as he says here. Don't be lazy. Do your job. Peace.